A crime spree last week killed a 20-year-old when someone threw a rock at her while she was driving. Now investigators say they know of more victims in that spree. Alexa Bartell died when investigators say someone threw a rock at her car on Indiana Street in Jefferson County.
Now, there were 4 additional incidents reported that night, but now 2 more have come forward since then. And 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry is with us with the latest on the investigation. Jaleesa?
Yeah, Kim and Tom, investigators are still asking for the public's help. While they've gotten a lot of new information, they still don't have any suspects in this case, but they say it looks like they have a few more victims. That helps authorities better understand this investigation.
A memorial along Indiana Street in Jefferson County grows. As the days pile on, so do the flowers, so do the leads.
It's been nonstop.
Jenny Fulton with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says they've received close to 300 tips since Alexa's story devastated a community.
It's been heartbreaking and intense. Everybody at our agency is doing absolutely everything we can to bring the suspects in this case to justice.
Authorities say Alexa died when someone threw a rock through her windshield while she was driving home last Wednesday night. 4 other drivers reported similar incidents in the same area around the same time. A couple of those people had minor injuries, but no one else was killed. Now, authorities say 2 other victims may have been found. 2 drivers, they say, whose cars were hit by rocks as they headed south on Highway 93 between 10:15 and 10:30 p.m. the night Alexa died.
We're investigating those today as we speak, just to confirm.
Investigators say those 2 drivers were not hit, just had damage to their car, but it tightens the timeline and the route they believe the suspects took.
We are working around the clock to figure out who did this.
Who did this is a question many agonize for an answer. Her close friend, Lucy Geiselman, says Alexa was kind, loving, and forgiving. She had dreams and ambitions that were stolen from her, stolen from those that loved her most.
We need the people responsible to take responsibility for their actions.
Now, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says they are still looking for a light-colored pickup or SUV that may have been involved in these incidents. A reward with any information that leads to an arrest is up to $17,000. Tom?
Obviously, there are far more questions than answers at this point, Jaleesa. Do we yet know how exactly Alexa died? From the rock, from the crash? Anything from officials yet?
That information has yet to come out, Tom.
All right, Jaleesa, thanks.
Denver police are investigating 2 homicides in a busy part of Denver. Police first got the call for a death investigation this morning on 13th Avenue and Quitman. That is near Tennyson Street. In the last 30 minutes, police said someone killed 2 people there. Police really aren't saying much about what happened. We don't know the names or ages of the victims, if they had a connection to the suspect or how they died. If you know anything, please call Crime Stoppers.
You got about 24 hours to get dialed in on the weather because some important stuff is coming our way. This a live look up near the Eisenhower Tunnel where you can see, well, it still looks pretty wintry, and parts of the high country are going to see a very wet April storm starting soon. Now, here in Denver, a pretty nice day. The big changes are coming on the way, and it's moisture. Lots of moisture, and how that moisture falls will depend on where you are.
That's exactly right.
There's a subtle difference between rain and snow.
Yep.
One of them piles up in different ways.
Yep. And becomes impactful in terms of breaking tree branches and bringing power lines down. And some trees are starting to bud already.
Yes.
And we've been talking about how we kind of got through March and April, our snowiest months, relatively unscathed. We typically see a foot in March and about 9 inches in April. It's been kind of quiet. So don't let your guard down. While it is warm and the temperature is warm, this storm is going to have major travel impacts across the state. We could be looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain in Denver and 1 to 2 feet of snow in the foothills, or we could be looking at some decent accumulation in Denver. It all depends on how quick the rain flips to snow. Currently no advisories for snow for Denver, but National Weather Service will bump us into advisory category as we get a little bit closer and we start to kind of fine tune the temperature trend. In the mountains, it will be heavy snow. A winter storm warning is out. Hard to believe we're talking about big snow when you look at temperatures like we're seeing today. 64 in Denver, 60 in Colorado Springs, 70 in Pueblo. You're thinking this can't possibly be true. snow. Yes, in April, it absolutely can be true. Kim and Tom will both tell you we've had blizzards in April before, and the storm that's coming in is coming from the Pacific Northwest. The low's going to set up in southeastern Colorado. If you've lived here for any length of time, when we talk about low pressure setting up in southeastern Colorado, that is favorable for deep upslope flow. So the winter weather and travel advisories will cover areas just west and south of Denver. Ahead of it, we might actually have a thunderstorm tonight, a little rain shower tonight. Very interesting weather phenomenon shaping up. We've got 8 to 16 inches of snow between 6,500 feet and 7,000 feet. Up above 8,000 feet, it's 1 to 2 feet of snow. In Denver, it's going to start out as rain. We'll have a few showers tonight, a partly sunny morning tomorrow. The afternoon is when the rain comes, and look at that rain. Now, what I want you to focus on, this pink line is the rain-snow line. Look at that and look at the clock. 3:30 tomorrow, that's heavy rain in Denver. The rain-snow line creeps closer to Denver by 11 o'clock at night. We are right on the fringe, okay? And so it's just going to be temperature dependent, elevation dependent, but the water is there, and if it gets cold enough, this will be a big impact right here in Denver. Right now, we're going to call it rain, a couple of rain showers tonight, some heavy rain tomorrow, but the potential for heavy, wet snow is certainly there. I'm going to talk more about that in weather coming up.
All right, Kathy, a lot to cover, a lot to pay attention to. We'll talk to you in just a few minutes.
Okay, well, eyes on that forecast. The snow that will fall in the foothills is that wet, heavy kind that Kathy's been talking about that can bring down trees and power lines. If you lose power, keep your fridge and your freezer shut as much as possible because, of course, you know, you want to think everything cold and frozen. That's a good thing. But also think about keeping your cell phone charged because most people don't have landlines anymore. A power bank is an easy way to keep it charged. You can also use a laptop after 8 hours of no power. Food in your fridge will spoil. And remember to check on those people that are a little older or perhaps more vulnerable around you.
The Los Animas County Sheriff's Department has launched an internal investigation into the violent arrest of a man, and we want to warn you, some of the video is hard to watch. It happened during what was supposed to be a routine traffic stop last November in Trinidad. Kenneth Espinoza pulled over on the side of the road after his son was stopped for driving too close to a sheriff's deputy.
Let me get your driver's license.
The father and son were driving separately to a nearby garage. Well, soon after Espinoza pulled over, Lieutenant Henry Trujillo ordered Espinoza to leave the scene. Another deputy gave the same command, but when Espinoza tried driving away, one of the deputies drew his gun and ordered Espinoza to get out of the car. Espinoza was then handcuffed. They tasered him numerous times while handcuffed, including at least once in the face. His lawyer says there was absolutely no justification for any of the deputies' actions.
This is almost like a law school exam fact pattern. Identify all the instances of police misconduct. That's really what we've got here. It's unbelievable what happened to poor Ken.
Espinoza was initially charged with resisting arrest and assaulting a police officer, but prosecutors dropped those charges. The two deputies involved in the incident are still with the department and so far have not been disciplined. Back here in Denver, mayoral candidate Mike Johnston got a big endorsement today from someone who wanted that same job. Progressive candidate and Democratic State Representative Leslie Herod threw her support behind Johnston.
Johnston is competing against Kelly Brough in the runoff election for Denver's mayor. Excuse me. Herod said she thinks Johnston is the right person for the job.
We ran a good race. I'm proud of the race that we ran. I'm proud of my team. But the commitment to the city didn't end because my mayoral bid did. In fact, we know that there's still so much work that needs to be done in the city, be it around homelessness, housing, our small businesses.
Herod, who finished fourth in the April 4th election, said she met with both Johnston and Brough before making her endorsement decision. She said Johnston's record of working with communities of color won her over. The endorsement could help Johnston earn more progressive support. Brough recently got the endorsement of former Denver Mayor Wellington Webb and former state legislator Wilma Webb. The Denver mayoral runoff still has 6 weeks to go. It's going to wrap up June 6th. Collect all your Bed Bath & Beyond coupons and get shopping quickly because the company has filed for bankruptcy and is closing stores. Starting this week, the company plans to wind down operations so the stores can close by the end of June. As the company begins to liquidate its assets, gift cards, gift certificates, loyalty certificates will all be accepted through May 8th. Returns and exchanges through May 24th. For items purchased prior to April 23rd today. As for the coupons offering that 20% off, they're only good for 2 more days. So get going.
The man who shot Breonna Taylor now has a new job in law enforcement. A new community isn't very happy about that.
A young black man died in a traffic stop when an officer pulled her gun instead of a taser. Today, she walked out of prison, but her sentence isn't over just yet.
Avalanche stalking another big road win tonight. Well, we'll see what happens as we get ready for Game 4 coming up in just a few minutes.